So we need to find an angle. We're using our half angle identity, where if we divide it in half, we get 7 pi over 8. So who remembers what I told them to do at the beginning? What do you do with that angle that they give you? Multiply it by 2 or add it against itself, whichever way. I'm just going to go the long way and add it. But that's the same as multiplying it by 2. Now, when you multiply this, do you get 14 pi over 16? When you're adding two fractions that have a common denominator, do we change the denominator? All right, so 7 pi plus 7 pi would be 14 pi, and that's over 8. Let's go ahead and reduce that down. What is 14 pi over 8 reduced down to? So that is our angle. Half of 14 is 7. Half of 8 is 4. You watching us a good movie over there, Mike? Is that a movie? What's you watching? A movie? I'm trying to finish this one thing I found. It's on Disney Plus. It's good. I'm on the last episode. It's crazy. All right, so I'm going to take tangent, and I'm doing the half angle, and the angle I'm cutting in half is 7 pi over 4. Okay, now notice that for tangent half angle, we have 3 choices. Now, I don't know if I feel like messing with this one. This looks like it has a lot going on. Now, sometimes it is the easier one, you know. I don't feel like using that one yet. So what do you want to go with, B or C? I'm not going to tell you what 5th period did. You pick your own. Who wants to go with B? Who wants to go with C? A few more people said C. Let's do C. So if I do the C, that means that it is going to be, it's going to equal 1 minus cosine of 7 pi over 4 divided by the sine of 7 pi over 4. 5th period did B. But I don't know. I kind of think this one might be a little easier. But we'll see. All right. Let's go to our unit circle and figure out what is the cosine of 7 pi over 4 and the sine of 7 pi over 4. So looking at your unit circle, what is the cosine of 7 pi over 4 and the sine of 7 pi over 4? All right, so cosine, is that positive root 2 over 2? Is that what that is? All right, so that gives me 1 minus positive root 2 over 2. That's divided by, and the sine is negative root 2 over 2. Who got that? All right, so we need a common denominator. So in order to subtract root 2 over 2 from 1, I have to write that as 2 over 2 minus root 2 over 2 all over negative root 2 over 2. You have to have a common denominator. And once you have a common denominator, we can write it as one fraction. So I'm going to write, so this is what I get on the top. On the top, I have 2 minus root 2 all over 2. And I'm going to divide that by my denominator, which is negative root 2 over 2. All right, how do you divide fractions? Yep, go ahead and do it. Keep, change, flip. Okay, so when you do that, keep, change, flip, it changes to 2 minus root 2 over 2 times, and it doesn't matter where you put that negative, negative 2 over root 2. And what's going to happen are these are going to cancel. But this is what I need for you to keep in mind, that this is still a negative 1 right here. The 2 goes away, but not the negative. So you end up with a negative 1 times 2 minus root 2. And that's all over root 2. So I can see that might be the thing that you all mess up. I'm trying to think like what would be the tricky part on the test. And that would be not remembering that even though the 2 goes away, it is still negative. You still have to distribute the negative 1. So let's go ahead and distribute the negative 1. Okay. We are almost done. What's the problem? What'd you say, Miles? The square root in the denominator. We got to get rid of it. Oops. I do not know what I hit. I hit something. I don't know what. It's thinking. Let's let it finish spinning. My iPad is spinning right now. Okay, there we go. I don't know what it just did. It did something. Okay, so what I have to do is multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. So I'm going to have square root of 2 times negative 2 plus root 2 all over root 2 times root 2. Okay, let's distribute. So root 2 times negative 2, you're multiplying 1 times negative 2. And 1 times negative 2 is a negative 2 root 2. So negative 2 root 2. Uh-oh. And then that would be plus. What do you get when you take root 2 times root 2? 2. And that's all over what? 2. I'm going to split them apart though, because I want you to see that it can be reduced. So I'm going to separate it to 2 fractions now, because this can be reduced and this can be reduced. So your final answer is negative root 2 plus 1. Again, I don't know if any of these are particularly easier than the other. But I think C, in this case, I could tell you we did a lot less work than what we had to do in 5th period. So maybe that was the better option. All right, last one. This time, they told us sine, so we don't need to use our unit circle at all. They also tell us that it's between 0 and pi over 2. What quadrant is that between 0 and pi over 2? 1. And in quadrant 1, everything is positive. Okay. That's important. All right, so it's asking us to find our cosine half angle, which is this one. So I'm not looking at any of these. There's only one option. So I'm gonna go ahead and rewrite that identity. So cosine half angle equals, and we said it's positive because it's in quadrant 1. So I'm gonna put a plus sign because you have to determine if it's positive or negative. Quadrant 1 is positive, so I'm gonna put a plus. And then I have the square root of 1 minus cosine x divided by 2. Okay. And remember, let me go back. You will get this formula, like you get all of this. It's already attached to the test. You do not have to memorize it. It's given to you. Okay. All right. So they told us sine, but in order to do this identity, I need a cosine. Okay. If they told me cosine, I could go right to it, but I don't know cosine. I have to find it. So we know sine is y over r, which means you have to find x. So don't say it out loud. It is a Pythagorean triple. You have 13 squared equals x squared plus y squared. And y squared is 12. It's 5. All right. All right, go ahead and find x. I'm just playing, Kimberly. Clearly, the identity says 1 plus cosine. 1 plus cosine over 2. Okay, so what did you get for x? So that means that cosine is 12 over 13. And it's in quadrant 1, so it's positive. So let's go ahead and finish it on out. Okay, so I have 1 plus, and then that is 12 over 13 divided by 2. Okay. I need to add fractions, but I can't add 1 in 12 over 13 because it's not a common denominator. So how am I going to rewrite 1 so it has a denominator of 13? 13 over 13, good. So I have 13 over 13 plus 12 over 13. That's divided by 2. Go ahead and add your numerators. Yes. Okay, so it's a 1. So you have 1 plus 12 over 13. 1 is always over 1. To get a common denominator, if my common denominator is 13, I'm multiplying top and bottom by 13. So it becomes 13 over 13. Good question. So that'll give us 25 over 13 divided by 2. I'm going to write that as a fraction. 2 is really a 2 over 1. So I'm dividing 2 fractions, which means I need to do what? Keep, change, flip. Let's do it. Keep, change, flip. Multiply straight across. So that would be the square root of 25 over 26. I'm going to break it apart now. Square root of 25 over the square root of 26. 25 is a perfect square, though. What's the square root of 25? 5. All right, I would be done, but I can't leave it like that. So what's my very last step? How do I get rid of the square root of 26 on the bottom? Multiply it by what? Square root of 26. Top and bottom. So my final answer would be 5 root 26 all over 26.